Live from our studios here at Kukumleme in Accra, this is Joy News Prime with me, Carlos Caloni. Coming up, Ministry of Interior imposes curfew on Nkwanta South Municipality in the Oti region as 6 people are confirmed dead in a fresh shooting incident. Minister for Information Kojopo Nkrumah rejects the minority tax of the 2024 budget as useless and empty.
If anybody says that an economic program like this is useless or is empty, that cannot be.
And why does the National Democratic Congress NDC MP for Bolga Central believe he needs to apologize to Manchester United defender Harry Maguire?
You remember that last year, I was very quick to compare my big brother, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, to Harry Maguire. Mr. Speaker, I now apologize to Harry Maguire.
And the journey to the Jubilee House heats up as Baumia and Mahama go at each other at the campaign trail.
What idea did he bring as vice president? He did not bring even one idea to the table.
It will take the next president to fix the country. He has lost hope himself.
And later, has President Akufo-Addo entered a lame duck season?
You have a lame duck president. A lame duck because you have elected a flag bearer and loyalty and commitments are shifting. So your president is now lame duck president.
At 8 p.m. we'll bring you Prime Business.
Canada and China were the preferred destination for Ghana for imports in the first quarter of 2023.
From a total import point of view, we identified our reliance on China to be predominant, and not predominant only in a single commodity, but a variety of commodities.
At 8:30, we'll bring you Prime Sports.
Well, Ghana Black Stars loses to Comoros in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers and jump to first. Comoros picking the top spot and Ghana languishing on the 4th position with 3 points.
You can watch Joy News on DSTV channel 421, GoTV 125. We are live on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify. On all socials, we are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Please stay with us. We are grateful you could join us here on Joy News Prime. Let's begin from the Oti region, where government has imposed a curfew on the Nkwanta South Municipality in the Oti region. This follows a fresh shooting incident that has claimed 6 lives this morning. In a signed statement, Interior Minister Ambrose Derry announced a 5 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew from today. There is the footage you have from the Oti region, and very soon we'll be bringing you that, statement from the ministry. But according to eyewitnesses, armed assailant opened fire on residents at the Nkwanta Central Market early this morning, and several properties have been destroyed, and residents have fled for safety, leaving behind a ghost town. Now, a police officer and 5 others are in critical condition after suffering bullet wounds in the shootout. Now, the victims are currently receiving treatment at the Nkwanta St. Joseph Catholic Hospital. Now, the region has witnessed tribal conflict involving the Adele, the Chala, and the Akiode ethnic groups over land litigation issues. However, in recent times, contention about a yam festival being organized by the Akiode people in the Nkwanta town has led to fresh conflict. Now, according to the Oti Regional Minister Joshua Makubu, the Oti Regional Security Council has deployed personnel to investigate the trigger for the new attack. He added that the RECSEC has also consulted chiefs and other opinion leaders in the area to urge residents to put down their arms and restore peace. There you have the statement on your screen, and it reads, the Minister for the Interior has, on the advice of the Oti Regional Security Council and the executive instrument, imposed curfew on Nkwanta Township in the Oti region from 5 o'clock p.m. to 6 o'clock a.m. effective Tuesday, November 21, 2023. Now, government wishes to appeal to all to exercise restraint and to use the established mechanisms for the resolution of all their conflict and dispute. It goes on to say, meanwhile, government likes to reiterate that there is a ban on all persons in Nkwanta Township and its environs from carrying arms, ammunition, or any offensive weapons, and any persons found with any arms or ammunition will be arrested and prosecuted. That's the statement from the Interior Ministry. Now, our correspondent Obrimpo Owusu joins us via Zoom for details of this particular incident. Obrimpo, so what is the latest from the township as we speak? So we are trying to get Obrimpo to speak to us on this particular issue where the Interior Ministry has issued a statement imposing curfew on Nkwanta South municipality following some clashes earlier this morning that led to the death of some 6 persons in that particular municipality. And according to the statement we just read to you, based on advice from that Security Council in the municipality, the Interior Ministry has actually imposed a curfew from 5 p.m. to 6 a.m. to prevent the situation from escalating to another level. So I think we have Obrimpo now. Obrimpo, if you can hear me, I was asking what is the latest situation in the Nkwanta Township as we speak? Kindly unmute your device so we can hear you. We'll bring him back when we have him on that particular story. But moving on, Minister for Information Kojopo Nkrumah has rejected the minority's portrayal of the 2024 budget as useless and empty. Minority Leader Dr. Kesiolato Forsen told Joy News that the budget presented last week offers no hope to the suffering Ghanaian public. Now, kickstarting the debate in Parliament, Kojopo Nkrumah argued that the 2024 budget will restore stability in the economy and bring down the high cost of living. Now, Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante has more in this report from the first day of the 2024 budget debate.
The 2024 budget debate has now started in earnest, with MPs from both sides going neck and neck with each other. In fact, today on the floor, MPs were literally at the throats of each other, with Kojopo Nkrumah starting the debate and criticizing the minority for describing this budget as useless and empty.
First objective of any sound economic policy or economic program at this time should be to bring back stability. Mr. Speaker, if you look at this program, pages 1 to 164, as I mentioned, where you find the full outline of the economic program, you'll find that the objective number 1 is stability. To bring the cost of living down to a level that our fellow compatriots in this country can accommodate. Inflation sitting somewhere around the 50s, brought down or being brought down this year currently to about 32%. And the forecast is that in the 2024 financial year, to bring inflation further down to 15%. Mr. Speaker, if anybody says that an economic program like this is useless or is empty, that cannot be true.
We also heard from acting ranking member on the Finance Committee, Isaac Adongo, who actually went back on last year's comparison between Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Harry Maguire of Manchester United. You may be wondering why the footballer is up on the floor of Parliament on this debate. Listen.
Taking an additional amount of 279 billion from the poor people in Ghana. You still remember e-levy. They said e-levy was going to be the Akobank of the world. Now, where have you reached? Mr. Speaker, you remember that last year, I was very quick to compare my big brother, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to Harry Maguire. Mr. Speaker, and now apologize to Harry Maguire. Mr. Honorable Chairman, sir, you got very angry when I used your defender as an example. Today, Maguire has turned the corner, is a transformational footballer. Harry Maguire is now scoring goals for Manchester United. Mr. Speaker, Harry Maguire is now a key player for Manchester United. As for our Maguire, he is now roaming at the IMF.
with a cup in hand.
With a cup in hand. As for our Maguire, the economic Maguire, now was able to get pensioners to leave their homes and come and parade in the streets.
Deputy Finance Minister Binause Asare has been assuring that government will not overspend in 2024 and derail the progress the economy has made so far.
Mr. Speaker, when you come to our expenditure, in the past, like I said earlier, governments have used election year as auctioning periods, engaging in all kinds of projects to win votes. But this government is committing itself to strong fiscal consolidation and efficient management of existing commitments in order not to derail the hard-won stability that we are witnessing. Mr. Speaker, as part of this commitment, government is not initiating new commercial loan-funded projects. And so when you check Appendix 10C, where we usually have commercial loan-funded projects, that place is blank. This tells you government is really committed to living within its means.
But the minority are not enthused about that assurance and says it will be taken with a pinch of salt. John Jinapo is ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee.
Firstly, let me just deal with a factual inaccuracy. Because in this chamber, I do know that, Mr. Speaker, you encourage a lot of intellectual debate based on facts. You can have your different opinion, but you cannot have different sets of facts. Madam Deputy Speaker, Madam Deputy Minister, you said that you have a track record in election year expenditure. For the record, in 2016, go and read the updated data. The deficit was about 6%. 2020, under your regime, election year, your deficit was a whopping 17%. Wow. It has never happened, Mr. Speaker. And in that year, no country had that deficit of 17%.
The debate is now going to continue in the subsequent days until the 28th of November, when the minority leader and the majority leader will conclude the debate. And from now till then, we are going to expect more jibes and jabs at each other. If what happened today on the floor is anything to go by, the next few days will be about jabs and jibes, as the minorities seek to make Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the centerpiece of their debate on the floor, while the majority also clearly want to take on former President John Dramani Mahama, because these are the two persons who will be going at each other in 2024 when the election is set to happen. Reporting for Joy News, Wiku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Still in Parliament, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin says Majority Leader Oseche Mensah Bonso is now a limping leader and therefore expects the majority to treat the NDC MPs softly in order to elicit their support in prosecuting government business. Now, the Speaker also described President Akufo-Addo as a lame duck who is having loyalty shifting from him to Vice President Bawumia, the new MPP flag bearer. Listen to him.
I expect the majority, who have a limping majority leader, limping because when you look at his back, you are less than those in front of you. You have a lame duck president, a lame duck because you have elected a flag bearer, and loyalty and commitments are shifted. So your president is now lame duck president. You need this side of the house to support you to finish your 8 years. And so if you don't behave well, we have a difficulty in proceeding as a nation. Please, I expect you to cooperate. I will not allow them to bully you. That one, you will get sufficient time to put across your case.
former President John Mahama says the clergy and civil society organizations should partly be blamed for the country's economic woes. He believes these groups have failed to criticize government for squandering loans contracted. He's been speaking at the Tichima Timber Market on a campaign tour of the Bono East region. Here's Yao Jima's report.
According to the former president, loans contracted by the NPP government, which he pegs at $3 billion annually, were not invested in productive ventures. He says the watchdog roles of various actors were left to the NDC alone.
Akoye se empenyimfo omo mudi ekan asafo penyi imamfo ne adeade
The clergy, civil society, and others in authority reneged on their watchdog role. From 2018, all vigilant people noticed the economy continued to dip. The economic crisis was imminent. Only the NDC told the president that his brother, who serves as finance minister, has refused to use the $3 billion loans contracted every year judiciously.
Now, Obianka said, "Men Bobosia, but Bobosia, what is the canaba? For year addicted to Japadia, a besombo ama or mine."
To the NDC, the ruling government has admitted its inability to put the country on the right track.
Now, President Ankasa Ibusano say, Jessica Samson, say, Esiafano, obey Hunday.
The president himself, in response to questions on the economy, admitted it would take the next president to fix the country. He has lost hope himself.
On the Wapaba, onim ni obeye biom. And so yedim president obeba besiesie sa nyoma no.
We know that the John Mahama administration is the government to fix the challenge.
And President John Dramani Mahama.
The Building Ghana tour made a stop at Timan Magazine, where a town hall meeting was organized to seek the concerns of the public for the NDC manifesto for 2024.
And
a national apprenticeship program campaign policy was preferred as a solution to challenges of apprenticeship raised in the meeting.
Adia ebema economy ejina na na so ene se yema nyina se wako school mpo a obetimi esua onsano ejuma kakra.
Skills training is one of the means of reviving the economy. Even graduates will have to learn a skill. Even if you want to travel abroad, it is easier to get a job as a skilled person. No matter your qualification, you should learn a skill.
Then we have a national apprenticeship program. Now we are Ghana.
At Benkrom in the Kintampo North constituency, a donation was made to victims of the recent floods in the area. The former president called on government to resource the National Disaster Management Organization for such purpose.
Abraye wabaimu afibia yetisika esiho edema aban ejuma ye friend nadmo enti atorenchem bia sia omutimi ba ebeboa omo a sa atorenchem no aka omo.
When we were in government, we released funds for the NADMO promptly for disaster management. But this time when the floods happened, NADMO told us they haven't received funding for the last 2 years. I will plead with government to fund NADMO to support disaster victims.
Enti afibia sika yete ho ye twagu ho se ye mfama nadmo mesre finance minister omba omo saka se ne be ya san nyoma isia omo so betimi aso ano.
Similar town hall meetings were held at Kintampo South and in Kwanzaa North.
The Bono East edition of the Building Ghana tour have been brought to an end. Opinions
and challenges of various groupings invited to the town hall meetings will be packaged into a manifesto. It will be replicated in other parts of the country. For Joy News, Nana Ojima reporting.
Now, Vice President Dr. Mahama Bawumia has criticized former President John Mahama for what he sees as empty promises to Ghanaians in the former president's quest to return to power. Dr. Bawumia said Mr. Mahama lacks a thorough understanding of his own policies, particularly the 24-hour economy initiative. Samuel Mbura reports.
For His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahama Bawumia. And in fact, the issue is that Mahama has already done up to this country. And in fact, so we don't want him to come and then do spiritual harm to us, this country.
The Vice President was warmly welcomed by enthusiastic party supporters during his homecoming tour in his native region, Northeast. His visit included a courtesy call on the overlord of the Mamprogo Kingdom in Nalerigo, followed by a grand rally in Tamale, the northern regional capital. Notable party figures including the MPP National Chairman, Majority Leader, and the entire northern MPP MPs caucus joined him. Dr. Bawumia addressed the supporters, expressed surprise at the campaign messages of NDC flag bearer John Mahama.
He's going around the whole country and promising everything to everybody. It is as if he has never been president in this country before. Hello. It is as if he has never been president. It is as if he has just landed from Mars.
He particularly criticized his understanding of the 24-hour economy policy.
Today, because of digitalization, the banks, you can transfer money 24 hours. You can receive money 24 hours. Isn't it? So he doesn't understand his own policy. It does not make sense. And I want you to vote in 2024 for Dr. Mahama Bawumia. I will bring a new vision. I will bring new policies. And we will transform this country. John Mahama is the past.
While highlighting his own achievements as Vice President, Dr. Bawumia challenged Mahama to present a single idea from his tenure as Vice President.
What idea will he bring as Vice President? He did not bring even one idea to the table. And I challenge anybody to tell us one idea that Dr. Mahama brought. Dr. Bawumia has brought idea after idea after idea after idea.
Majority Leader Osechi Mensah-Bonsu asserted that Dr. Bawumia is pivotal to reshaping the economy, a reason all of them are supporting him.
Bawumia will have tremendous belief that with him, this country will experience a turnaround. He is the one with the key. He is the one with the key to reposition this country. That is why all of us are following him.
Minister for Lands and Natural Resources and MP for Damango, Samuel Abujinapo also emphasized that Dr. Bawumia's selection to lead the MPP is based on his integrity, not because he is a Northerner.
And we present him not because he's a Northerner, not because he's a Mamprogo, not because he's a great son of Nadewa, not because of that, not just because of that, but because he has shown that he's a competent Northerner, he's a hard-working Northerner, and he has a vision to transform this country.
The Vice President's homecoming tour will extend to Yendi, Bimbila, and Damango in the Savannah region later in the day. Samuel Mbura, Joy News, Tamale.
Former President John Mahama has promised to run a government with only 60 ministers if he wins the 2024 elections. He said a lean government will save resources which will be diverted to cater for the allowances of assembly members. 127 ministers were appointed to office in the present government first term. But the NDC flag bearer says he will reverse the trend by running a lean government.
Assembly member BBAC, assemblyman, assemblywoman, from almost 1 year nipa. Enti eboa ye share 2020 no, ye da so gina so. Senyame adom na ye ba ban mu a. Assembly for ye betu omo bibi kakra bosome bia ye be ma omo bibi kakra sene be ya omo so ombetimi aye ejuma sene sefata emaye.
Assembly members will be given some allowances for their hard work so that they will be able to work diligently.
Na 6,000 omo obia 1,000 Ghana mpo 1,000 Ghana what they can by 6,000 saying 6 million cedis. Me kase say ba by moi ye better minister for no so. Ye better minister for no so. If you say minister bia woman ka mienu sa Land Cruiser ba no man saluka ba.
We are going to decrease the number of ministers to be able to pay these assembly members.
No an electricity bill, what you an the water bill, what you an the DSTV. One man allowance, BBR. Enti yete sa minister for no so. Yebenya sika etua assembly members so.
Now, ahead of the December 19 district-level elections, several developmental projects in some communities in the Ashanti region, especially road networks, have been intensified. Abandoned road construction projects at Bokanye and Sokoban, for instance, have seen some rehabilitation work spearheaded by aspiring and incumbent assembly members. However, some residents and motorists say the ongoing road projects are just meant to influence their voting pattern in the upcoming district-level elections. Nana Bwachiyadom has the rest of the story.
At Sokoban, a 1 kilometer stretch of road which had turned a death trap has been rehabilitated through the initiative of the local assembly member who is seeking re-election on December 19th. The road construction at Bokanchi in the Atwimamwabija district has been abandoned for years. The road, which serves as alternative access to regions in the north, currently has contractors busy at work. Some residents are excited at the attention to the road construction, but others believe the intensified attention is to influence votes in the upcoming district-level election.
December, assembly mind for and so January.
We have seen that contractors are on site. We know it's because of the upcoming district level election. We don't want them to start and end after the election. This is a major road which needs all the attention.
Assembly no abatono betono.
We have always complained. They are now constructing the road due to the upcoming elections. The MP has failed us all.
Meanwhile, concerned motorists and residents have prevailed on the local assembly and government to ensure project completion.
We thank the government for fast-tracking this road project. We have been suffering whilst using this road. They should make sure the project is completed on time. I know the district-level elections and 2024 general elections has influenced the construction of this road. The government should help complete the project even after the district-level election. We suffer as drivers whilst using this road, so government must intensify the construction. We have heard they only have a contractor on site to influence votes in the upcoming district elections. But the government should also see to it that the road is constructed.
For Joe News, Nana Boach Dankwa-Yadom, Kumasi.
You're still watching Joy News Prime. We'll take a short break. We'll return with more. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. Let's still head to the north as Dr. Bawumia's homecoming tour enters day 2. Overlord of Dagbon, Yana Abukari Mahama II, has admonished him to recognize John Mahama as a brother and not an enemy as the political campaign heats up. Now, he stressed that both of them are his sons and whoever wins the elections bring the trophy home, hence should not be divided. Samuel Mbura has more in this report.
Yana Abukari Mahama II said, "This is a big opportunity for Northerners to demonstrate maturity, competence and honesty to move the country forward," and therefore urged Dr. Bawumia to run a clean campaign and not allow anyone to push him to engage in politics of name-calling and insults. He made these comments during a courtesy call on him by the MPP flag bearer during his homecoming tour of the northern regions.
Your team worked tirelessly for you because of what they have seen in you. So don't disappoint them. Lead them and don't let them lead you, or else you have wasted all their efforts and sleepless nights. So strengthen your team with charisma and good nature. Let people come into contact with your good nature in their actions. Only this way can you truly lead and get the work done. So once again, please move heaven and earth and run a clean campaign that Ghanaians will remember long after you have left the political scene. I wish you all Ghanaians continued abundant blessings in all your endeavors, especially your political activities. I also wish you others for others traveling blessings as you crisscross the country to express your gratitude to all and sundry.
In response to the counsel by the Dagbon overlord, Dr. Bawumia indicated with firm assurance that he has come to the political space with ideas and will contest John Mahama in that direction, but would not depart from his humble nature to engage in politics of vilification. We are fortunate to have you as a father and grateful for this advice. I will not allow partisan politics to divide us because of our different interests.
I
will assure you that the 2024 election campaign will not be about attacks and insults. It will be about competence and who can lead this country better.
Let's now take you to the court as an Accra High Court has refused to stay proceedings pending determination of a process filed by lawyers for MP for Assin James Jachi Kwesen at the Supreme Court. Now, the MP is seeking to prohibit the court from going ahead with this case, citing issues of bias against him. The court, presided over by Mary Yanza, says it has no order from the Supreme Court asking it to stay proceedings and questioned why the MP was not present in court and also refused to join a virtual link provided by the court for him to participate in the proceedings. Legal Affairs correspondent Richard Kujunako was in court and has come through with the following report.
Counsel for James Jachi Kwesen, Chachuchi Kata, announced in court that his side had filed a process at the Apex Court to prohibit the court from going ahead with the case. He cited issues of bias and unfairness against the MP and indicated the judge had prejudged the matter on the legislator's health status. Presiding Judge Mary Yanzu indicated to him that the court had received no orders from the Supreme Court asking them to stay proceedings. James Jachi Kwesen's purported health issue then took a center stage at the court, with the judge asking why the MP was not in court and also refused to join a virtual link sent to him by the court. Mr. Chikata stated that his client was undergoing medical tests in Canada, hence his inability to be present in court. Before Chachi Chikata disclosed this in court, both parties had met in the chambers of the judge and a letter was handed over to the judge with a plea by Chachi Chikata for the judge not to disclose the medical condition of Joe Jachi Kwesen because of how confidential medical conditions are. but the judge says the letter handed her does not disclose any health condition and has no attachment of a medical report. Deputy Attorney General Alfred Chiayebo affirmed what transpired in the judge's chambers, emphasizing that the counsel for the MP has failed to bring any medical expert to testify on the health condition of the MP. The court then directed Mr. Chachuchi Kata to move his motion for the case to continue. It's now unclear whether the MP for Asen North, Joe Jachi Kwesin, will be present in court on the next agenda date or join a virtual link supplied by the court to participate on the proceedings virtually. The case has been adjourned to Wednesday.
Reporting from the court complex, my name is Richard Kwejinya for Joy News.
From the court, let's go to the roads, where the Department of Urban Roads is debunking the widespread public assertion that their negligence is the cause of the prevalent dysfunctional traffic lights across the country. Now, the department rather blames rampant crashes into traffic infrastructure, theft, and vandalism as the main causes of the confusion and accident occurring at traffic intersections. Now, the latest data released by the department reveals 85 and 46 incidents of crashes and theft, respectively, have been recorded since January this year, destroying rumors and traffic infrastructure. My colleague Kwesi Adaikwatan sat through a road safety stakeholder meeting and has filed the following report.
Malfunctioning traffic lights in the city have been on the radar of Joy News for months. Faulty traffic lights have led to accidents and confusion at traffic intersections. Numerous reports by Joy News have uncovered the stress and anxiety road users endure at dysfunctional traffic intersections. Joy News' Samuel Mbura, in her main report, touched on how chaotic the situation is at some traffic intersections.
On my left here, you see that this intersection leads directly into the airport. Right behind me, just where this traffic light is, the dysfunctional traffic light is, two salon cars, one blue in color, another red, had a crash because there is no traffic controlling the flow here. You have this police officer directing from both sides. So at the time the police officer asked them to stop, the one behind quickly, lost control and hit.
The Department of Urban Roads, the authority responsible for fixing this traffic management infrastructure, has come under heavy criticism. The public blames the menace on the negligence of the department. But speaking at a multi-stakeholder road safety forum, the department blamed faulty traffic light on rampant crashes, vandalism, and theft. Neville Dodu Kote is a principal electrical engineer at the department.
The data that we have for this year, we have recorded vehicular crashes of 83 from January to now. 83 vehicular crashes. Then another trend that is disturbing a lot is vandalism and theft. I should say most of the traffic lights that are not functioning in the central business district is as a result of vandalism and theft. It is overwhelming the department, but we have engaged the national security, the police. Even though we had formal engagement with them, we are now building a closer bond for them to help us out because it is going beyond the budget that the government releases for the maintenance of traffic lights. Another trend that we are seeing is excavation. You know, some of the utility companies, when they are giving permits, because of sometimes lack of supervision, they'll be digging along and they'll just cut the cables and they will not reinstate them. So that's also a trend that is also worrying.
Head of Research and Training at the Motor Transport and Traffic Division of the Ghana Police Service, DSP Alexander Obin, disclosed that the security agency is currently mapping out strategies to clamp down these unscrupulous persons.
With what has emerged, and I'm aware, same concerns from the road engineer has been forwarded to the police administration. And I know currently the road engineer engaging the police administration. Having said that, I'm also aware that the urban roads is bringing this to the attention of police at various divisions and districts, even in Accra, where this situation is pervasive.
Acting Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Engineer David Akufo-Addo, emphasized on the need for a collective and shared effort to address the menace.
Still on the highways, road traffic crashes in Kumasi rose from 1,255 to 1,555 between 2021 and 2022, representing 24% increment. Now, findings from the Kumasi Road Safety Report shows pedestrians, motorcyclists, and cyclists accounting for 84% of the reported fatalities within the period. Now, studies of road injury risk factors on selected corridors found that 30% of drivers in Kumasi were speeding. Here's a report by Clinton Yeboah.
The Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly has launched the third edition of the Kumasi Road Safety Report. Using 2022 police crash data, the report provides characteristics of victims of road traffic crashes, high-risk periods and high-risk locations in Kumasi. The report is aimed at reducing road traffic deaths and injuries by implementing evidence-based interventions. The report revealed road traffic deaths dropped from 160 to 134, a 16% decrease. Similarly, deaths per 100,000 population also declined from 4.6 in 2021 to 3.4 in 2022. Males accounted for 78% of deaths and 67% of serious injuries in 2022. The highest proportion of deaths was recorded among those aged 20 to 29 years. Kingsley Reko is the Bloomberg Philanthropies Initiative for Global Road Safety Surveillance coordinator in Kumasi.
In 2022, police reported 134 fatalities. Out of them, pedestrians are the majority, and it's consistent from previous since 2017. Fatalities are recorded following crashes in 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And in Kumasi, for where pedestrian fatalities are occurring, we have Sufulan Station, a Suyabwa traffic intersection, Bekwai, which is Santasi Station, and then PV or being bypass. There are many interventions or things we could extract from it. For example, DUR can go and have a corridor inspection on a high-risk location, and then if there are any engineering intervention that they could do, it can be done. Also, based on mass media, CPRTU can pick it, and any of their maybe education for their drivers and even the public.
Kumasi Metro Chief Executive Samuel Pine, in acknowledging the reduction of the fatality rate, assured of stringent enforcement exercises. He disclosed plans to retool the police in the metropolis to curtail road crimes.
When you look at the fatalities, mortality rate, it decreased between 2021 and 2022. But now we're also embarking on enforcement, which is the best that we can do. I'm looking at the speed limits within the cities and on the highways. Also, we got in some equipment for the Ghana Police Service, that's the MTTD, to work with. We're also looking at road markings, where there are intersections, where there should be zebra crossings and all that. The use of the walkways that we're going to enforce and make sure that our city gather with train 30 of them to make sure they embark on that activity. Again, we engage with the Ghana Police Service and the Road Safety Authority to also work.
The report was enacted in collaboration with the National Road Safety Authority, Bloomberg Philanthropies Initiative for Global Road Safety, the Ghana Police Service, Vital Strategies, and John Hopkins International Injury Research Unit. Reporting for Joy News, Clinton Yeboah.
We'll take a short break. We'll return with Showbiz. Stay with us.